thank you for joining today's interview, Pradeep. How are you doing today?
Yeah, thank you, Deep. Thank you for the opportunity. First of all, I am doing very good.
Awesome. So, Pradeep, before we proceed, can you give a brief introduction about yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name is K. Pradeep Kumar. I'm from Hyderabad. I completed my MBA in 2013 from Osmania University, and I started my professional career from S&P Global as a research analyst, and later I moved to a functional consultant for Dynamics 365 and I have worked for 2.5 years, relevant experience in as a functional consultant and overall experience of 11.5 years. So far, I've worked on two projects and one in implementation one, and currently I'm working in support.
Okay. Can you throw some light regarding the implementation project that you have worked?
Yeah, first of all, we started with information gathering from the client, like key stakeholders, from the understanding their business requirements and moving to the financial D365 FMU, where we required lot of information gatherings. We met with our senior members in the meetings, and we diagnosed the business requirements. Like later, based on that, we moved to the analysis where we get to know that fit gap analysis, whether the business requirement is supporting with the standard D365 functionalities, or we need to do some customizations, and then after doing that from the that like mm, we prepared functional requirement documents from the that requirement gathering, and at development phase we made a lot of customization based on whether whenever standard functionalities is not like working, and uh, we we prepared functional FDDs, and with the support of technical team, we prepared technical document, design document, and once that done, we tested the customization at our development environment, where I was in testing the customization which were prepared, and latter QA team did the quality checks. Latter, if there are any gaps like errors or defects found, we rectified to development team. We exploited to development team. Once the everything is done, we move to deployment. We asked end user to test the user acceptance test at the production environment. Then later that we deployed our thing to the and then after that we moved to implementation process.
So you mentioned about the process. I wanted to know about what was that requirement. You mentioned that you diagnosed the business requirement. What was that business requirement, and what analysis did you do? What was that work? I could not understand the work.
Actually, when the client is moving to their legacy uh, ERP to our Dynamics 365 FNO ERP. So there are difference between their legacy. They are following some their own like workflows or some settings which they are habituated to. But in our Dynamics 365 FNO, there are some different user interface or anything. So uh, when customer asks for the custom no no for function for example, if customer wants uh, like workflow in a different after 1 million of that we need approval from the CEO or any senior member. So we need to customize that workflow based on their requirement. If that is fit in the our existing ERP, we can do that. Otherwise, we need to do that. We did that customizations.
So why that migration is happening? What was the impact? Means why they had to migrate their legacy ERP to D365 ERP?
For better for better understanding and better user interface, and we have a lot of options in like Dynamics 365 F&O.
What are those lot of options? You are giving me a generalized thing. What are those lot of options? How it is helping your current client? Because if they are migrating, so the entire interface has to get moved to a different ERP. So there will be a lot of development cost that the customer will have to incur. Why they have suddenly changed or they have allowed this migration to happen? Are you aware about it? Okay, no problem. Maybe you can explore that later. And what is the project management flow that you used to follow in your current work?
Purchase order workflow. Currently, we
The
have used.
project management flow. Is it a waterfall model? Is it an
No,
agile
shoot.
methodology?
It's agile and show step methodology.
Okay. How the work is to get distributed? Let's get on that.
Like we have Workday and mm, and another tool where we can update our time in the Workday, and from ServiceNow we get the tickets.
Mhm. And what's the life cycle of the ticket? What are the different stages that ticket has?
We have P1, P2, and P3. Like where P1 ticket is the very critical, where we need to escalate those and resolve those within the framework of within time 48 hours or 24 hours. And P2 is the medium where we can have some or we need some information from the client. Then we need to P2 tickets, and P3 is we have 7 days of SLA.
Yeah, but these are the support tickets you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Whenever some changes are necessary. So support tickets will come with an SLA. But what about the
Mhm.
implementation? What's the life cycle of those tickets?
Implementation, I work very less time for in implementation, so
Okay.
I senior members handled those tickets and distributed the work to us.
Okay, no problem. That's fine. So you mentioned in your resume that you did requirement gathering and fit gap analysis. So generally, how do you approach gathering requirements and how do you conduct a fit gap analysis for F&O, maybe say an implementation project?
Sorry, can you please repeat it once?
My question is, suppose you are selected in my organization and I have an implementation project that you might have to take care. Now, you mentioned that you had been a part of requirement gathering and fit gap analysis. So, as a consultant, what will be your approach in terms of gathering the requirement from the client and conducting a fit gap analysis for this project?
Okay. First of all, the client requires any specific requirements, they will approach through the mail. So we will schedule a call with them, and they will ask what are the like changes required or any customization required during the implementation, or any particular module they want some changes. So based on that, we will take some time, and if the solution is immediately we can do that, or we can check with the other team members, suppose development team or technical team members. So we come to one solution for that.
Okay. So by after talking to the technical team members, you will come to a solution for any sorts of customizations that are required to be integrated, right?
Yes.
Okay. So okay, that's fine. And suppose the data migration strategies. Have you ever been a part of data migration strategy? So you
Uh,
mentioned transitioning of legacy system to D365, right? So
yes.
how do you design and execute a data migration strategy for transitioning legacy system to D365?
No, senior executive or a principal consultant, they are the part of it. They distributed work to us.
So what was that work all about?
Actually, we did them in from data management workspaces. So, so we import from if any legal entity we need to uh, 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 export from one legal entity to another legal entity. We use the data management uh, workspace where we can import the specific like a vendor legal entity. We need to copy move from one legal entity to another. First, we need to export that legal entity from and import to another legal entity.
Not very comprehensive, but okay. Let's move on to the next question. Suppose I have a client, okay? A
Mhm.
client requires detailed financial reporting that breaks down transaction by multiple dimensions, such as suppose say cost center, departments, project codes. So how will you configure and manage financial dimensions in D365 F&O for the general ledger?
Yeah, we'll go to first of all, we go to general ledger module. Uh,
Mhm.
for dimensions, first of all, we need to create financial dimensions department, business unit, cost centers, value stream. These all are, first of all, we need to create from the organizational and administration module. Under legal entities, we need to create those financial dimensions, and we need to map it accounting structure in the ledger form. And then we need to attach in map the ledger form to post
Mhm.
any transactions.
Right. So and you need to ensure that every transaction in the GL is tagged with the appropriate financial dimension. Then
Then we can able to post the transactions, right? General ledger, general entries.
what about the reporting side? How will you do that?
Reporting, we'll have a reporting trial balance under inquiries and reports. We can able to get the trial balance. We update with business unit and we can get that reports.
Okay. So can you tell me what are the steps that are involved if you have to perform period closing activities in general ledger method?
Okay, period closing transaction. First need to we need to uh, adjust the any pending general entries are for the period. So we need to post all of those and any allocations, if any allocations are pending for the period end, we need to post all those allocations and accrual schemes as well. And any pending transaction which need to be posted or settled, we need to do that. And later, we need at the ledger form, we need to ledger calendar, we need to put the status on hold for the period after closing all.
Okay. So how will you do the testing of this?
Sorry.
So, do you know how will you ensure the unit testing process is done? What are the checks that you will do from your end just to ensure that the workflow that you have created is working properly?
For period inventory closing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're asking
Hmm.
about.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, on module wise, we will check the all pending transactions are posted or not. Any settlements are yet to like posted, and any invoices which need to be uh, settled. After that, in each module wise, we need to run the currency revaluation.
Hmm.
Then we need to put hold on that particular module fiscal period for the status on hold.
Okay. So you mentioned about currency revaluation. Right? So how do you manage the currency revaluation process?
Like generally, it is used for exchange rate fluctuation based on
Mhm.
when we involved in the like the foreign currency transactions. So
Mhm.
at the period end, we go to module ones like APR, AR. We can go to accounts payable module under reports, so we can run the foreign currency revaluation. So before doing that, first of all, there are setup is needed for foreign currency revaluation. So we need to create main accounts for the realized gain and realized loss. So realized gain should be revenue, and realized loss should be expense, and unrealized gain is asset, and unrealized loss should be expense. All those four should be mapped in the ledger form to get transaction, and we can in the general ledger parameters, we need to enable the penny difference for the rounding off as well. So then we can run the foreign currency revaluation from general ledger or APAR. So go to like accounts payable module. Under reports, we will enable the foreign currency revaluation. Then we give the date as on date and recons foreign currency revaluation. We do that.
Okay. Fine. So suppose your management requests a vendor aging report to monitor outstanding invoices by aging buckets. Suppose say 0 to 30 days, 31 to 60 days, etc. To manage cash flow effectively. So how will you generate and interpret a vendor aging report in D365?
Yeah, okay. Underaging report generally deals with shows us the vendor balances, outstanding balances, and in the
Mhm.
customer side, we get to know that how much owing to the customer based on the periods. We have due dates. So first of all, we need to go to accounts payable module. Under
Mhm.
setup, we need to create one vendor aging definitions we need to give period type, and then we need to give vendor aging symbols 0 to 30 days it is in green indicator, and the 30 to 60 days it should be in yellow, more than 90 days it should be a red diamond like that, and then go to accounts payable reports. We need to run vendor aging reports, so that we can get that clear picture how much we are balanced to the vendor or customer.
Okay. So, are you aware about the invoice approval process?
Invoice approval.
Yeah. So, a client requires, suppose, say, a structured invoice approval workflow that ensures that all vendors' invoices are reviewed and approved before payment. So, how that process is required to be completed.
We need to enable the workflows for that.
Mm-hmm.
Under procurement and sourcing parameters, we under workflows, we need to enable vendor invoice workflow.
Mm-hmm.
It will open the canvas where, based on the client requirement, we need to uh, uh, give the assigned roles and include the users. We need to give some definition, like more than 1 billion invoice should be go to the approval process,
Mm-hmm.
or like that. After that, we start elements. We need to add some elements based on that, and we need to run that workflow, activate that workflow. Also, I will configure email request as well for that.
Okay, fine. So next scenario that I would like to ask, suppose a company requires that the depreciation expense for its fixed assets be posted to a specific general ledger account, which should be distinct from asset cost accounts. How will you set up a depreciation posting profile in D365?
Depreciation profile, we can set up from fixed asset module.
Mhm.
Under setup, we can give depreciation profile, where we need to give the depreciation method, whether that is straight line method or reducing balance or manual factor. So that we need to give, and what are the frequency period for that. We need to give the period, uh, set up that depreciation profile. Once it done, if we go to fixed asset module, and when we enter the general entries for that, so we can go with the depreciation proposals for that, where we can get as a date how much the depreciation for fixed assets we can get that. So after that, we can post that transaction in general entries.
Okay, uh, that's fine. So the configuration setup that you mentioned, that in the fixed asset module, you will be uh, opening the posting profile setup, right? To
Yes.
configure the setup. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so my final question will be like, suppose, for example, uh, I I I want to. I'm not sure whether you have undergone this in your current project, and if you have, then you have to explain in terms of the project that you have undertaken. You need to describe the process for recording a fixed asset acquisition using fixed assets journal and explain how it integrates with the acquisition process based on the current project that you have worked, or any projects that you have worked. So if
You
I
are
repeat
asking?
my question,
Yeah, yeah, sure.
you need to describe the process for recording a new fixed asset as acquisition
Mhm.
in FNO using fixed asset journal and
Oh,
explain how it integrates with the acquisition process.
okay. First of all, we need to create one fixed asset uh, in fixed asset module. Sorry. So once we created the fixed asset, if we go with the books, the status it will show, right, not yet acquired. So and the date is when we were created the fixed asset, it shows that date only as acquired status. So we go to general fixed asset module under general entries. We need to acquire that fixed asset like that. Go to fixed asset general entries. Uh, we need to create one journal name for that, maybe fixed asset journal name, and the journal type should be post fixed asset.
Mm.
After creating that, we go to the general entries, open the lines, and at the item, it should be like fixed asset. And then we can give the amount of the acquisition amount and offset account. So method of payment. Then when we post that entry, automatically the fixed asset is acquired. for the particular value, and it will when we open the books, it will show the fixed asset value.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Fine. So, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years of time?
I want to see myself as a senior role, which is helping me to advance our clients for their solutions to the like solution to their needs,
Mhm.
and I want to see myself as a like principal consultant or any other senior role.
Okay. So, what's the major challenge in your current project that you have handled? It may be from the client side, it may be from your technical aspects of it. What was the major challenge?
Okay, I'm not came across with the major challenge, but I can say that I came with some challenges where uh, client required some customization after implementation, like change request.
Mhm.
So one example is for that, like it is a very big company, and they want in the Excel plugin. The financial dimensions coming in a single column after the main account. So they have 4 to 5 to 6 financial dimensions coming, and which is very difficult for them to input in a single column. So what I did is that we customized that Excel plugin using the technical consultant help. So like each financial dimension we placed in another separate column. So once the user updated the column wise, it will directly comes in system in a single column.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay, Pradeep, I'm done with the round. We'll start with the feedback session now. If you want to have a glass of water, you can.